I will also get like my wood back here from the jar, and I will get a second one. So I just grew some wood in a jar, I guess. Very cool. Hey everyone, this is Thecos, and I'm really looking forward to showing you Core of Discovery today, a game set in the world of Manifest Destiny. Manifest Destiny is a graphic novel that deals with Lewis and Clark setting out on an expedition to explore the uncharted American frontier. And this is a cooperative deduction game, logical deduction game, where you are trying to defeat enemies, but also like solve daily challenges in order to like reach your end goal. This game has, at least the version that I have, the base version, has 2 different chapters. Each chapter has like different maps that all like play the same regarding the rules at least, but they play differently because of course you always have like a new puzzle that you need to solve. You can also play this cooperatively. I've only played this solo so far, and I think it is a very, very good solo game. I don't know how I would like it cooperatively. I would have to try that at some point. But yeah, I'm looking forward to showing that to you. But before we get started, as usual, grab yourself a cup of tea and let's do this. All right, there we go. So I only have the base game version. I would love to also own the other chapters, or maybe even the deluxe version with the deluxe components, because I think this game is really worth it. But since I have the base game version, I have 2 chapters, Fauna and Flora, and I will show to you Fauna today because that's the one I'm most familiar with. But a few small disclaimers. First of all, although I'm quite decent at deduction, I would say I'm not very good at this game yet. I have won this once. Just once, right? All the other times I've lost. This is a very, very tough survival deduction game. It is very hard and it really punishes you for making mistakes. But I don't mind this here as much as in other games, such as Robinson Crusoe, for example, because that game is like much longer, right? You can play this in half an hour, 45 minutes solo, if you know how it plays. All right, before we get started, as usual, I will just set up the game and then I will show you how this plays. Alright, and with that, I should have set up the game. I hope I didn't miss anything. Alright, so what do you see here? Well, let me just guide you through what you see here. So we have our map here, map 1003. I haven't played that one yet, so it will be quite exciting to see me lose here, most likely, for you. We have here our map. We will be starting in column 7, then we will like slowly be exploring this map, trying to fulfill our goal. I will get to that a little bit later. Then here in the top left, we have our character. I have chosen Lewis. These cards here at the top, they are a little bit off screen. You won't see them that much, but actually what I can do is I can at least get Lewis down here. So you see him a little bit better like this. And then we have like our starting items. You can just choose like from any items that that are in the game. There are quite a few. I can choose 3. I've chosen the satchel, the jar, and the compass. The satchel lets me discard the resource or water I just gained in order to take a destiny card. That's one of these yellow cards that can be very helpful that I've randomly placed here. Then I have the jar. The jar means I can take like 1 resource from my backpack, put it on there, and then at night, like after the entire day is done, I can like gain 1 more of that resource. So I have like 2. I can double that. That's pretty nice. That's one that I like to take a lot. Then the compass is very good. If I'm correctly guessing the terrain I'm about to explore, I can discard that path token, which are these tokens here on top. These are like our timer, and sometimes you want the timer to be a little bit slower, so that's also very helpful. And I chose Lewis because I think Lewis is very strong. If I exhaust him, I can gain 2 of a resource or water if I exhaust him before I explore. So I kind of need to know like what I get there, but still, that's really good. And then also, additionally, if you want to make the game a little bit easier, and I usually do that because I think the game is very hard, I'm also you can also use the training gear, the medicine. That one lets you refresh like one character or gear, so that means like this character, either Lewis or one of these gear cards, I can use once more per day. Then here we have our threat deck. In here are 4 minotaurs. We need to defeat 3 of them and 2 misfortunes. These are just like other bad events, so to speak. Then here we have the kill minotaur cards. These like I can like when I find a fort, I can like turn one of these over, and whenever I do whatever it says on there, if I reach that, then I can like remove one of these minotaurs. And if I defeat 3 of them, then I win. But I need to do that before the challenge deck is empty. Speaking of, this is like our like tableau, like our second main tableau, so to speak. Here we have the challenges for this day. I will always like talk about them like when it's time. Then we have our end of day and night. And then here we have like everything, like some of our free actions, like to build a shelter, build a fire. These may be helpful for like specific things that I can do, especially for the challenges here. And this one here is our backpack. We can have like 4 items regularly in here. We can also have 6, but whenever one of these challenge cards resolves, then we can get fatigued if we have like stuff in here. So we only want to have like 4 items max, usually. And then here I have 8 water that I start with. Water is a very spare resource. At the beginning you think like, yeah, you have way more than enough, but you don't. But I can have up to 10, but no fatigue there. Then also here we have the destiny cards. These are cards that I may be able to draw as a reward, for example here, or like whenever I use my satchel. And then up here we have the explanation for fauna. We also have it for flora, which is the other chapter. For fauna, that tells us like our goal, how we explore, our free actions, so like a small player aid. But also it tells us like information about the map. Every map has the same information, like how things can be arranged, but they're all, of course, they are arranged differently. So they all play differently then, of course. I will get to that in just a moment. That is what you see here. Now we'll take just a few minutes to explain to you how this game works. If you want to jump right to the gameplay section, just use the timestamps in the description. But I just want to give you a rough overview. The rest I will explain as I go. So what I do during my turn is I start in column 7 and then I always explore a path. That means I turn one over one of these path tokens, and then I can always like go to a path adjacent to that after that. The path token that I turn over, I usually discard here in the top left, and on the leftmost card. And here on the right, top right, you see how many path tokens it takes for that card to be resolved. Then I need to fulfill the requirement up here. If I want to end, if I can. If I pass, I get the reward there. If I fail, I get whatever is there. Usually I have to pay stuff. For the first one, I always get a food. A food is important because when all of these are resolved, that's usually after 10 explore turns, right? Because 5 plus 3 plus 2. Then I have the end of the day, and there I need to feed my troops with 1 food. If I can't do that, I lose immediately, right? And then we have the night. Then we see like, are there monsters or threats in play? Are there monsters in play at the moment, like minotaurs? If not, then I had to reveal one. Then I refresh all my characters and gear, and then I reveal 3 new challenge cards. If ever I am not able to reveal enough challenge cards for the day, then I also lose the game. I also lose the game if I ever have to spend water and I don't have any more. I win whenever these 3 conditions all don't take place, and I defeat 3 minotaurs, right? I will show you later how that works. Up here is the player aid that tells me like where things can be. So just give you a rough overview here. We have water, we have wood, and these always are adjacent to one another, diagonally or horizontally, as you can see here, in both directions. So if I find a wood, I know there is a water next to it. If I find a water, I know there's 1 wood next to it. Same thing with berry, like with food and with the teepees here, just diagonally instead. And then the same thing also with these teepees and skulls, just in all directions. But whenever I turn over a skull, I also need to draw a threat card. And then with the vines and with rocks, they are all like always in the same column. So if there is a stone, in a specific column, then there's also a vine in that column and the other way around. By the way, if you direct your attention here to the map, you see there is already like a rock here on top of this path token. This is the peak, so the highest tip of the mountain that I can see from here. So I know that there is a rock for sure. Then here we have like wood is like there's like 1 wood per row and per column. Here I know that these are terrains here where I can place a shelter, and these are always next to food and wood. But that's only in one direction. These are also always like one directional. This doesn't mean if I find a food, there is like one of these shelter icons nearby, right? Just that direction. Then here, mud is always next to water and rock. The rock with the red border means that they're all unpassable. That means I cannot explore further there. I need to go around. And also, they are all connected, all the rock spots, and also they can't be on the edge. When I find the TP, I can trade 1 resource of water, so I can just trade away one resource of water to gain a different one. That can be very helpful, actually. Then here, the skulls, as I told you, they need to be next to 4 different terrain types. Terrain types are all of these things. And also I have to draw a threat card if I reveal them, but I also need them for specific things. Not here, not at the beginning, so I actually don't need them. For a shelter, to build a shelter, I need them. And then also the last thing we have are these tokens here. These mean that I don't have to use the path token, I should just discard it. And also it tells us like how many forts are in the row and column where I uncover that. The forts are important because if I find one, I can turn over one of these kill minotaur cards. Before that, I cannot get rid of those. And also, last thing, the exploration rewards. If I ever fill an entire column, I can gain a destiny card, either one of these 2 face-up ones or the face-down one. And if I have a row here, then I can discard a threat card and discard a new threat card. I've never used that yet. I don't know like what's the use of that, except if I have like not a minotaur there. But I actually want minotaurs, right? Otherwise, I will not be able to defeat them. All right, that's pretty much everything you need to know the game. So now we can start playing. One small disclaimer before we do. First of all, I'm not very good at the game. I said that at the beginning of the video already. And secondly, this is quite a complex game. I find at least. It does something with my brain here that I find it quite complex. So it's possible that in the heat of the moment where I'm trying to think here, I'm like having a rule or 2 wrong. If I catch it during editing, I will put that here as a subtitle. If not, I will put it in a pinned comment if I realize it afterwards or you see it. So this is not a teach, right? But this is just like to give you a feeling of how the game plays, because I really want to show it to you because I really like this one. All right, now we can get started. So we do our explore action. We always do an explore action. That means to remove a path token. We need to start in column 7, as it says here, right? Yeah, I usually like to start in the middle. So let's turn over that one. All right, so now 2 things happen. First of all, I have a path token that I discard here on the first challenge card. Whenever there are 5, then I need to resolve it. And also I get a wood. What that means is I just take 1 wood from the supply and I put it here in my backpack. So now I already have the wood that I need here in order to do that challenge here, right? All right, so we also need now wood, vine. More water is always good for the next challenge. And also I would like to have at least 1 fire. But then again, I don't know how many food tokens I really need, right? So let's see. Okay, so now we know that there is no more wood here in that column. There's no more wood in that row. And also we know there is 1 water adjacent to it. That's all we know. We know nothing else, right? So I think I would just go inland. Let's just go here. And there's a mud. Very good. I need that. So I discard my path token. And I take 1 mud from the supply and put it in my backpack here. I think I really want the deluxe components here because it's like really cool. I think they're acrylic and they look really nice. I'm not sure if they're acrylic or what they are, but they look like really nice. I've seen a few pictures of them. I think I love those. At some point I need to see like how I can get those. Okay, so that was 2 of 5. We are not really under time pressure at the moment because we have the wood. We need a vine. A vine is always in the column of a rock. So there is a vine in this column for sure. But I guess like the rocks, I mean, they are connected. They probably also go here. So there will be also a vine in one of these columns. I do need water at some point. So what you can do now is, because now we have actually uncovered enough, you can also like take these resource tokens here, right, that I put there, and you can just turn them over to like signify that one of these has water, right? And if I know one of these is water, I can just put the water on here. So I just know, right? That kind of helps you to map out the terrain. I didn't do that in my first games, but when I started doing it, I started winning games, right? Okay, so mud is always adjacent to water and rock. That means, yeah, I don't think there's going to be a rock up there. So what I think is there is going to be a rock here, which would be like really far, right? I almost don't think so, but it is definitely possible. And then there may also be rock over here. And also there may be water anywhere on these 3 things. Well, I think I will not mark that for now. Okay, so we know all of these things. So I think I will go further inland here to see like, and if that is not a rock, I'm pretty sure this one must be. So let's see what we have here. This is a rock. Okay, so we discard the path token there. Or we don't discard, we put it there. The rock we will just put into our backpack. That's fine. We have the first one to build a fire. So that means, I don't know if that also can be rock still. I guess it can, but I will put that away again and just mark these here to say that there is most likely water. So this is fine now, but I can now not use this to further explore because this is blocking me, right? So I need to go around. So I can only explore these 4 here. So you know what? Let's go down here. Okay, that's the water. So I will take that water and put it right here. Actually, this doesn't have to be water anymore now. So I will remove that. Okay, so we are now at 4 here. 4 path tokens. All right, let's continue. I think what I will do is I will also explore this one here because I think this is not water. Most likely this is water. I doubt there's like going to be 2 water next to each other. Also, we need to explore here for more vines, right? But I do have a bit of time for the vines. But then again, we have so much water at the moment, right? I might actually explore up here. Okay, that's a fort. Wow, we stumbled upon our first fort. That is amazing. So with the fort, what we can do now is now we can turn over one of these minotaur cards. And what that means is here, you see, it says like make a trap. Then we need 1 mud and 1 vine and need to exhaust one of our gear in order to kill a minotaur. We already have 1 mud, but we also need it like for the challenge next round. But let's see. So and now you see 5 path tokens here. So I discard those. Then I do whatever the card says here. So I have to spend 1 wood, which I will do. I spend that, put it back to the supply, and as a reward, I do the pass thing, and I do get food, which is good because I need that to feed my troops at the end of the day. Then we just discard that challenge card, and now we have the next one we need to deal with. Before that, it says that when revealed, we lose 1 water if we are fatigued here, right? And also we have to resolve any monsters that has consequences, but there's nothing there at the moment, so we are fine. So now the next challenge card here is School of Fish. This is actually like an exclusive card for this fauna chapter here. 3 turns, okay. And this one says we need like 1 mud, 1 vine, and 2 water in order to pass. That would be great because I would not like to lose 3 water instead of 2. But then again, we could also say, okay, we lose 1 more water, right? And I use this mud and the vine that I find actually to kill a minotaur later on. Let's see. Let's see how we do that. Okay, so I would say we go up 1 further. That is a TP. Okay, so I can put this one here, and now we can trade. That means I can trade 1 thing in and get something else. What will I trade in? We need some water. Actually, I need all of that, right? I need all of that, but I will get like more rock down here. I think that is fine. So I could trade in a rock for a vine because then we already have everything that we need there, right? I think that would be okay. But I could also, I'm not going to trade in 1 water. I don't think so. So yeah, let me trade in the rock, I guess, for a vine. So we have already everything that we need for this challenge here. Okay. I think that's fine. Then we might want to get some water. Then we need to explore here. I could now risk it. No, I'm not going to risk it. I'm not going to risk it. I'm going to go up here and see what's there. Okay, there's a food. Okay, that means we get... Oh, we have so much food now. Okay, I mean, we do need quite a bit of food, but we already have 2, right? We only need 1 at the end of the day. It's like kind of like weighing us down at the moment. So I think I don't even need a fire here to get more food. I don't think so. Okay, so what I will do now is I have 1 more explore action. What I will do is I will now exhaust this one here before I explore. And it says like if you correctly guess the terrain you're about to explore, discard that path token. We now know this needs to be water, right? So I will now guess it's water. So let's see. And it is. So I will take that water into my supply. And since I exhausted this, I can just discard the path token. I don't have to put it on that card. I can just discard it so I have a little bit more time, which isn't too bad. Okay. Then let's just continue exploring, I guess, right? So let's just see if we can maybe find that vine. So here we know that there is a skull around here somewhere. And I think I would actually like to have that skull, right? Because if it's a minotaur, I can immediately defeat it. That would be amazing. Yeah, I think that wouldn't be too bad. So let's see. I think there might also be a mud over here someplace. Maybe here, right? If this is all like maybe rock, there could be another mud here, and then a vine here or there. So let's see if we can find any of those. Oh, that is a wood, actually. Okay, fine. So let me take a wood from the supply and put it here. All right, and now we have to resolve the challenge card again. So I spent one. Will I do that? I have like full water, right? I could also keep that for that minotaur thing. But then again, we will be fatigued. No. I will spend these two. And also 2 water. Oops. Also 2 water here. So we just pass our challenge. And now it says, and let me move those to the left again. Now it says pass if we have fire, which we haven't built yet. Then we can get food, but we haven't done so. So we just skip that. Okay. We are not fatigued, so we are fine. Next one. We need 1 mud and 1 water. Yeah, I'm trying to find a mud. So, let's see. There could be a mud over here then, maybe. There must be a mud here, right? No, there must. No, well, there could be a mud. Let's turn that over. It's a vine, actually. Okay, that's also good. That is also good. Oh, yeah, I was in the wrong column. I thought here was vine, but it's like that column. I'm totally stupid. See. So, we have a vine. That is good. We need now another mud in order to do that trap, make that trap here. The thing is here, we need a mud and a water, and we need a shelter in order to get a destiny card. I'm not quite sure if that is going to work, but let's see. To be honest, I don't think I can really deduce anything. I could deduce that most likely this is rock here. Very likely. But of course not 100%, right? But I don't really want to find any other resources now because I'm like too full. Unless I find mud. Unless I find mud, that would be okay, actually. Either mud or a skull, because then I could build a shelter. But then again, I can't build a shelter yet because I don't have a shelter space yet. Remember? That was like that space over here. We could risk something that might be interesting. So what we could do, I could uncover this one here and say it's rock beforehand, right? That might be an idea. This could be quite okay. I don't need any wood at the moment. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to say this is rock. So I will exhaust Lewis before. Oh, I don't have to say it's rock. I just explore. I will just exhaust Lewis, and then I will gain two of that resource here. So yeah, it is rock. Just what I thought. So I will now get 2 rock, which is nice. This is good to have. Now I have way too much stuff here, right? But I can do a few free actions. And what I will do is I will actually exhaust the jar here. That means I can place 1 resource on the jar. I don't need any wood at the moment. So I will just put the wood in the jar. And also I will use my 2 rock here in order to build a fire. Because fires are like important for things later on, right? To maybe get food, or maybe it's going to be important here for the minotaurs. So that's fine. All right, now resolve this card here. I don't have any mud, so that means I have the fail state here. So I lose 3 water, which is pretty bad, actually. So I will have to find some water soon. And if I had a shelter, which I don't, then I could also get a destiny card. But I can't. All right, so we get rid of that one. So now what we do is here, we now see if we are fatigued. We are not. Then we need to feed our troops. So we'll just take one of these berries here and discard them. And then if there are no monsters in play, we need to reveal a new threat card, and we have a minotaur here. And how that works is it depends when we reveal him, either during the day if we have like a skull token explored, or during night, or as a row reward, which is now. And now it says southernmost explored path in path priority. The southernmost explored path is our wood here, right? That means what we do now is now we take one of these minotaur tokens here and we just put that one up here. And now there's several things here. So this now blocks this column and this row. Whenever we want to explore in that column or row, we need to discard a resource or water in order to do so. And we remove that token by removing the minotaur card. And the minotaur card we remove by making a trap. So what we now need is 1 mud in order and exhaust 1 gear in order to do that. I still have 2 gear here, right? 2 gears, so that's fine. Okay. And then we just refresh all characters and gear. Like this. I will also get like my wood back here from the jar, and I will get a second one. So I just grew some wood in a jar, I guess. Very cool. And then we just put out 3 new challenge cards here. All right, that's fine. I have everything here I need. Oh, I will get a mud there. Nice. So we either now need a vine or a mud, I guess. A vine would be good. Okay, so let's see. This column and this row, these are blocked. We have a water here that's, we have a fire here, that's good. So we are fine here. We are almost fine here. Oh no, we are also fine here. So all I need now is a vine. There is another vine in this column here, right? Because there is a rock in this column. But I can't explore here or there because this is like blocked here. I can't go through. So I have to go around. But I don't really want like another wood, right? Because if I go here, there's a wood for sure. Because one thing I haven't shown you yet, there's like a little arrangement of icons here, and that means this also exists somewhere on the map. This is like then exclusive to the map, right? These are exclusive to the chapter, which is fauna, with several maps, and this is always exclusive to the map. And you see like mud, fort, and then there must be a wood. So I can like put that one here, so I know there is a wood. So what we could do is just to save a little bit of time, actually. Let me see. Do I need the wood? I need 1 wood if I wanna have some fire. So I'm gonna correctly guess the terrain. I'm gonna guess it's wood. There we go. Put the path token here, and now the wood I will put here. And now I can just discard the path token because of my compass, but I can put the wood here. But I will use 2 wood immediately as a free action to build another fire. I think it's always good to have a few fires here. So we will like need some here, and we can also lose fire, right? So let's do it like this. So now that I have 2 fires, now I can also backtrack. That means I have to discard these 2 fires here, and then I can cancel the turn I just had, right? So I put everything back the way it was at the beginning of the turn. Quite interesting, but I've never used that so far. I've never like really needed it. Either I was like playing really bad anyway, or I was fine. Okay, so there must be now, which we know, there must be water here or there, right? Also, there's like a skull anyway here, which we don't really want or need. That means, yeah, but I need to go over here. I need to get over there to like search for vines, right? So let's discard this. Let's explore this one here. That's a mud. Okay, that's also pretty good, actually. Because now we would have enough to remove that minotaur. But we also need a vine here later on. So I will wait for now. But then we would have 2 mud. Yeah, I know. Maybe we'll need another one later on. If not, we can always trade when we find a tipi. Okay, so I have 1 more I can explore. I can explore here because I will lose a water now. There is water for sure. But I still want that vine, right? I still need a vine in order to make the trap there. So yeah, let's maybe go down here and hope this is a vine. It's not. It's another rock. Okay, so now we know where all the rocks are. Let me just get another rock and put it in my backpack here. Okay, so now we resolve this one here again. So we lose 1 wood or rock. Oh, actually, I think I lose 1 rock instead, and a vine. And 1 water. Okay, we are getting low on water. I told you, water is a much more scarce resource than you may think. And this is very good that we passed this, because first of all, we get a mud now, which is fine. We have now 1 mud too many, but okay. But the main thing is why I wanted to get this is, otherwise you would have gotten like one of these lock tokens here. I'm not quite sure how they're called right now, but these actually like clutter your inventory, right? And you can only get rid of them by discarding a resource. So yeah, but it needs to be a resource. I don't think it can be water. No, it needs to be something in your backpack. Okay, so that was that card. Okay, the next one we need to have 1 fire and lose 2 water. We are getting low on water, but there is 1 up here. We know that. We can get that when we need it. But I want to continue finding that vine because you need to get rid of that minotaur. So let's see here. We have another fort. Oops. We have another fort, which is not bad. That means we can turn over another one of those. 2 wood and 1 skull. Okay. We will find a skull quite soon over here. So yeah, I think first we need to make that trap and then we are good. That means here is another wood. We know that because of that thing here, right? So let's put that here. There's a wood and, oh no, there is a wood and there is a water. We know that. Then let me go up here and hope for a vine. This is incredible. This is pretty bad because I have way too many resources at the moment. This is not very good. I don't like that. I can't even build a shelter. I can't even build a shelter yet. I could, but I don't have the spot for that. A shelter, it could be next to food and wood, which I don't have anywhere here, right? A food would be diagonal to a teepee, and that one would be next to a skull. So yeah, I don't know. I don't know yet. Maybe we should like go down here and explore down here. That might be an idea, right? But there is like this minotaur. But the problem is, well, there are also like some vines maybe here. So we could still continue finding those there. Yeah. I mean, there are like it's like a lot of wood here, right? And wood could also be next to water. Oh, there could be water here, which would be fine. And also there could be a shelter. You know what? I will explore here and see what we get. We get a shelter spot. That is good. That is really good because now I can use, you see here, like 2 of these resources. I can lose 1 mud and 1 wood. I can use these 2 in order to put my shelter down here. So now I don't have any fatigue penalty anymore. And also if there's anything that ever requires us to have a shelter, we now have it. But there are also some of these cards that make us lose the shelter. Okay, good. Then we have to resolve that card here because we have 3 path tokens. So we have water, we have fire, that's fine. We don't lose it, we just need to have it. And we lose 2 water here. We really need to get some water, but there is some over there. And also, before I finish here, there must be a water over here as well. Because next to the wood. And if this is for sure wood, then this or that could also be water, right? And this one here has to be food, which is fine. We don't need that food at the moment. Yeah, the issue we now have is we need to explore down here. Well, let me remove this now because we have done all of that. Oh, almost. We have passed. So now we get one of these tokens here. We have to put this at the very left and we can discard this only if we also discard another token. Okay, here we need wood, we need vine. Oh, this stupid vine is killing me. Yeah, let's see if we can somehow find this vine, but it needs to be down here. This or that. One of these 2 is vine, right? There could also be vine here, but until we get there, I don't know. It's kind of rough, but I think what I will do, I mean, I would be able to get some food if I find a vine, or I can get one up here, right? So it's very risky. But I think what I will do is I will actually explore here. That's in the row of the minotaur. So I need to discard a resource. But I need wood and I need mud. Well, then again, I can get 2 wood by just using my ability there, right? So instead, I could also discard the wood to do so here, I think. Yeah. And then let's turn that over. That is a skull. Okay, we found a skull finally. Interesting. Okay, so several things happen here. First of all, I do get that skull as a resource, which I need for making a spear. Okay, good. And then I will also like draw another threat card, which is a misfortune. So it's not even a minotaur card. So it says Worm Pups. Place Worm Pups token on the closest unexplored path to D4, which would be here. Okay. To move Worm Pups to an adjacent unexplored path, discard 1 water. Okay. How to remove, exhaust your character and 1 gear card. Interesting. Okay. I see. So, so I guess I will not be able to explore here, right? Do anything here. So I need to discard first or move it around. Well, maybe I can just like use 1 water later on and just move it over there and then that's fine. Okay, so now we have an issue because actually we don't really. So one of these two is now the vine, right? But I could do it differently now because now I have that skull and I have my shelter built, right? And that skull is like really dead weight at the moment. So now I know that I need to that I need to get rid of that minotaur, but I also need to actually fulfill this one here because otherwise I will just lose too much water and gain another one of those tokens. That's pretty bad. So I will still hope that I find that vine here somewhere. It needs to be here or there. I could just explore here. But I don't want to lose another resource. So I think I will go down first and then I will go to the left. And then hope the vine is there. If it's not, oh, then we might lose. But I will need to take a few risks here. Otherwise, I can't win anymore. But there must be a vine here or there for sure. And yeah, that's all I know about the vines. That's the issue. No. There can't be a vine here. There cannot be a vine here because the skull is always adjacent to four different terrains. There already was a vine there. So it needs to be one there. All right, that means I will go down here, which is, oh, that's even one of these hills. One of these hills I can stand on and kind of like look around, right? And I see like, oh, there are zero forts in that row or column, which is good for me to know. I still need the third fort, right? For the third Minotaur card. And that token I can just discard. I don't need to put the path token there. And then I will explore over here. And that gives me that vine, of course, that I knew. So I now have everything to resolve that one at the end of the turn. That's good. That's really good. Well, almost. I still need like, wood, right? So I will get a food when I'm done here. That's fine. I need the skull for that later on. Okay, let me think. Oh, one thing, of course, I just missed it because I was like looking at the footage here and everything. But of course, I would have exhausted Lewis before that in order to get 2 vines, right? Because I need both vines, actually. I do need both. So let me just get another vine here. Because now I have the vine here. I still need wood, but I can get that over here. That's good. So I will now discard a vine and the mud and exhaust one of my gear cards. Which one will I exhaust? I guess I will exhaust the satchel for now. And then I will put these in order to kill the Minotaur. So I discard that card, discard the Minotaur card. And I can also take that token here and put it here in my little area to signify that I have defeated one of them. As soon as there are 3 in here, I win. Okay, just like that. Okay, we have one more turn before we need to pay here. And in order to pay, we do need wood. We do need wood. So let me see. I will use my training gear in order to refresh Lewis. And then I will explore right here. Like tap him before. So I gain 2 wood. Which is like really nice because we need quite a bit of wood actually. We need 1 more wood later on for the Minotaur, but we have 2 at the moment. That's fine. I could double something. What do I want to double? I think what I might do is actually I might put the berry here in my jar. So we are fine in terms of food. I think that's a good idea. Is that a good idea? Well, actually, it would be cleverer not to do that. I think it would be better to actually put the wood in here. Right? I think. Because I do need 2 wood later on here anyway, right? And I can always like build more fires. It's fine. I think we're fine with that. Sorry for that. That was a little bit confusing. Okay, so now we can resolve this here. 1 wood, 1 vine. We remove all of those and also remove 1 water. Then we have passed this one here. And as a reward for passing, if we have a fire, which we do, we gain another food. That's fine. Now we have 2 food. That's good. Nice. Okay, then we remove this. We check for fatigue, but we can't be fatigued anymore because we have our shelter, right? And then we do the end of the day. So we spend 1 food here in order to feed our troops. There are no monsters in play, so we will reveal another one. The Minotaur, and that one, another Minotaur, and that one will go to the bottommost path here. Bottommost explored. No, and that one will go to the westernmost explored path, which would be well, this one here has a shelter, so it can't be that. But even if you're unsure, you go to the back of the rulebook here and see the path priority. So the westernmost explored ones are these two, a shelter and then a wood, and then you see like what comes first, right? So you see that wood is like very much at the top, right? So the Minotaur would go here, like that. Okay, that is annoying. It's right like where I need to explore, but okay. That's the way it is, I guess. Then we refresh all characters and gear as usual. Also, because we have night, I get this wood back plus another wood, which is nice. So I just multiplied my wood again. This is like the theme of this exploration today, right? Wood in a jar. And then also we put down, 3 new challenge cards. Okay, so we need to, like, our main goal now is to find the next fort and get water. But we know there's water, there might be water here, so we are good there. Okay, what do we need here? We need wood, we need skull, and we need water. And if we don't do that, we get like all of that stuff again. Okay, that's pretty bad. But we need all of that for the Minotaur as well. Well, there is a skull somewhere around here. We know that, right? And there may also be wood. Let's see, there is already wood here. There is wood here, here, here. No, wood can only be here in these 4. So there's almost no wood on the map anymore. If I'm not mistaken. If I'm not mistaken, it should be like this. Because there's only 1 wood per row and column, right? This row is gone. This row is gone. This, and that row. So all rows except these 2. And columns, all of them are gone as well, except for these 2. Yeah, wood can only be here and there. It's like really hard to get there, right? For me at the moment. Well, I could go here and hope for some wood, but there is a Minotaur here. Oh, we're having issues. Can we swallow that fail here? So in order to, we need to go down here anyway, right? Because it's also the fort is also going to be down here. So we need to go down here somehow. So I might have to like spend maybe a resource or something to like go here once, and then I can kind of really explore down there, right? I think that's what we need to do. I think there's no other way. And there's going to be water there or here. And I don't know where that could be, right? It's like, well, then again, the mud is always next to, oh, no, there must be water here. There must be water here, right? Yeah, there must be water there. So I know that for sure because of the mud here. And I need water, right? So I will go in here. I will lose a resource. What will I lose? Oh man, I can get food anytime up here. And I need it at the end of the round. So I think I will spend 1 food in order to explore down here. And also before I do that, I will use the research ability for Lewis. So I gain 2 water instead. That is very, very nice. Because we actually do need water. You see, I told you it was scarce. Okay. And now I can kind of freely explore here. And that's what I will do. So then I will just continue here. Oh, another skull. Okay, that is, I don't know if that is good or not. I mean, we do need a skull here later on, so I guess it's fine. But then again, it's possible that we discover another Minotaur now, right? There's another Minotaur, and that is kind of bad because that Minotaur here I have to put right here on the space, so I can't explore anymore. That is pretty bad. But let me think. We need 1 more wood. But the wood is down there. I can't get there in time. But I have to, whether I want to or not. So I think I will continue exploring here, and then later on I will go down here. So in order to explore here, I need to discard a resource. I will discard the wood here, I guess. And there's a TP. Okay, we can now trade. Do I want to trade? I don't think so, actually. I will just leave it. All right. The round is over. I am able to get rid of, like, to pay all of these tokens here, but man, it's not very good. So I can now look at 1 path adjacent to an already explored path. If it's a skull, I lose a water. I will go down here anyway now. So it doesn't matter what's there. I think what is interesting to know, adjacent to an explore path. What's up here? Let's see. Another teepee. Okay, I know a few things now. I know, okay, let me just mark what I know. So I know there is a teepee here, okay? I also know the food, I already do know, okay, that's fine. Also, I know that there is a food or there is a food. But it's very likely that the food is over here. But still, let's mark both of them. Let's see. All right. I will need another skull token here. Man, I'm not able, like, there aren't enough skull tokens for everything. That is pretty rough. Okay, so I'm not fatigued, but I also don't have any resources, which is pretty bad. Okay, I hope this was not a too rough cut, but I had some issues with the encoder here. So now I do have kind of the issue that I need to either satisfy this condition here, just to hold out one more night, so to speak. I don't need food for that because I have fire, so I would get one food. So I would need one water, one wood, and one stone. But I only have 2 moves, so I don't have enough moves, right? That doesn't work. Or I get 1 destiny card, 1 food, and 1 water. I can get a water and a food here. That's 2 moves already. That's pretty bad, because if I still had the compass now, then I could make it. Just barely, right? But I could make it then. But I don't have that compass anymore, so I think I'm at the end. I think I'm losing here. Let's see what the destiny cards do. Place a food token on the end of the day area. That doesn't matter. Save 1 fire. The next time you're forced to lose 1 fire. That doesn't help either. I need 1 more move in order to win. 1 more. This is like not enough. Had just been a 3, then I could make it. Because yeah, I would now explore the food and the water, and then I would be done. But I don't have the resources here that I need. So I think I will just move down towards the wood and just kind of see what I can do. So I go here. That's a water. Okay, fine. And then I would get the wood here. And that's it, because now I would have to resolve this, and I don't have enough. There's like this 1 rock missing. I could have had that here, right? Or alternatively, I would have just needed, instead of the wood, I would have taken like the berry and discarded the wood for a destiny card. But that's just one move missing, unfortunately. But yeah, I guess that concludes my playthrough for today. Unfortunately, I lost, but it was very close, right? Just 1 more move and I would have won. I actually would have won the game. So I'm really happy, because this is a very tough game and it's very hard to win. And I'm actually really happy that I was able to win this game. But yeah, that's how you play Core of Discovery, a game set in the world of Manifest Destiny. Yeah, I like this game a lot. I needed a little while to get into the game, because I need to be honest, the rulebook isn't the greatest. There are like some things that aren't explained in the rulebook. Sometimes they're like not in the place you expect them to be, and I like the rule read was pretty rough. Although the rulebook isn't that, it's not that large. Well, it's like more than almost 30 pages, right? But like here at the end, you only need like for the scenarios and stuff. So it's like, I think 17 pages for like what you need, right? And then yeah, but it's like maybe like, I don't know, 15 pages or something like that. So it's not that long, but I don't know, the rulebook could use a lot of work. But then again, there is like a newer rulebook online from what I've seen. And also there are like FAQs online. So the publisher really is trying to like make the best of the experience, right? And like improve the rules, the rulebook at least. So that is very, very nice. I liked it a lot. So yeah, but like as soon as you get into the game, when you understand it, then it's a really, really good game. I really like this. And I am certain I'm going to try to also seek out the expansions and maybe the deluxe components, or I can like gift this away or sell it or whatever, and maybe get like the full-fledged edition directly with like the nicer components and all the expansions, because I think like there's like loads of replay value here, right? I haven't even touched Flora yet. I'm still at Fauna, but still, I think I want to make this future-proof, because I think this could become one of my favorites here, actually. I wouldn't be surprised to see this at the end in my top 50 at the end of the year. So yeah, I really like this. And thank you so much for watching, for staying to the very end. I really hope you enjoyed this video. As usual, I would like to thank you all for your support, especially want to give a shout out to my generous patrons. The biggest thanks go to Thecos for supporting me at the highest tier. Thank you so much for that. I truly appreciate that. You can also support me by watching, liking, and commenting on my videos, subscribing to my channel, support me on Patreon, and join my Discord server to hang out with me and my really cool community. Alright, thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you in the very next video or my Discord server. Take care, everyone. Stay safe and cheers.